Hello, everyone. It's Peggy McCall, and welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are here for the launch celebration of the 21-day author program. And I am delighted that you're here. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. So happy to have you here. I have been waiting a long time for this particular day, for this particular session, because I believe that I was born to do the work that I'm doing. I believe that the reason why I was born is to help you do what you want to do in the world as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to celebrate the launch of my brand new program called the 21-Day Author. What's the 21-Day Author? Well, I'm going to share that with you right here, right now. Also, I've got a surprise for you that I'm going to reveal at the end of this session, at the end of the time that we're going to invest here together. So stick with me all the way to the end, and I've got something special for you as well. So what I'm going to do is I have prepared a presentation for you, and I'm going to walk through it right now, and I'm going to inspire you to think about your book or perhaps your next book if you've already written a book. So let me open up my presentation. I'm going to go to what's called screen share mode, and I'm going to share my desktop. So now you're seeing my screen. You're seeing what I see on my screen. We're going to go right to the celebration webinar for the 21-Day Author. Now, for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Peggy McCall. Welcome. I'm a New York Times best-selling author. Now, you could be perhaps just one book away from changing your life, or leaving your legacy, or perhaps even building a multi-million-dollar income. So it is time to celebrate. You see, we celebrate certain things. We celebrate holidays. We celebrate special events. But we really need to celebrate life. We've got one chance to go through this life. And a book, your book, could make a big difference. Not only in your life, but it could absolutely change the lives of others. I know that, some people say, well, a book can't change your life. Well, some books, and one book has certainly changed mine. That's something that I hear my mentor and friend, Bob Proctor, say all the time. He's always saying, one book changed my life, the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill is long gone from this planet. I remember one time being in Dallas, Texas, and Bob Proctor and I were heading on down to the ballroom because we were going to be doing a presentation together. And he was pretty excited about getting down to the ballroom and sharing the message. And we're talking about what was going to be shared that weekend, the messages that were going to be shared. And do you realize that the entire weekend was based on one book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles? And Wallace D. Wattles is long gone from this planet as well. So a book could absolutely change your life. I know it changed mine. It changed my mind reading books, or changed my life reading books, and it certainly changed my life writing books. Now, as of today, and I'm going to talk about a new book that I'm working on, or will be working on. As of today, I have 12 books. The very, very first book that I wrote is a book called On Being the Creator of Your Destiny. Now, some of these books I've written. Some of these books I've paid a ghostwriter to write. Some of these books have been created based on transcriptions of courses that I've taught. There are so many ways to write a book. And there's some that are really, really easy peasy. And there's some ways that, are just a walk in the park, like completely easy, where you don't even have to lift a finger. Now, one of the things that I'm doing in the 21-Day Author program is I'm teaching the multiple ways to get a book done. I love helping people create more ease in their life. And I suspect if you're here, that maybe that's something that you would love to have as well, correct? You'd like to have a little more ease in your life. You'd like to write a book that's going to live long after you've left this planet. Perhaps you'd like to leave a legacy. Is that something that you'd like to do? Now, I've done all these books, but you got to know that I didn't come from a space or an education of literacy. I was not educated formally. I graduated high school barely, like barely made it through high school. I think it was a miracle that I got through. And I suspect, I have a little bit of suspicion that part of the reason why I got through high school is because the teachers didn't want to see me come back again. They're probably happy to have me out of there. I was bored with high school. It was not what I wanted to study. So I didn't want to study stuff that I wasn't interested in, and I wasn't really disciplined enough. So when I decided, when I got to the point that, hey, I'm going to write a book, I had no experience. I had no idea. I didn't have anyone to show me the way. But you know something? I figured it out. Have you ever done something where you decided you're going to do something and then you figured it out, or you found someone who could help you? Like, you got here today for a reason. There was something about the invitation that attracted your attention, and maybe you weren't even thinking about writing a book, but you thought, I wonder what this is all about. What's this 21-day author thing? Does this mean I could write a book in 21 days? Well, actually, it does. Matter of fact, you could write a book in less time than that. And I will share with you in a moment a couple people that have done just that. If you're looking at the presentation right now that I've created for you, there is one book on this screen. It was my 8th book, called 99 Things You Wish You Knew Before Marketing on the Internet. And that's what I've been doing now for almost 2 decades, marketing on the internet. And I have found that there's some really valuable things that everyone needs to know, whether you're a business person, an entrepreneur, or whoever you are, that there's some very, very, very valuable information that you need to know in order to get where you want to go. Now, someone just told me that the slides are a little bit fuzzy. I'm not sure if they're fuzzy for everyone, but there's some folks that are watching that are saying they're fuzzy. So let's see, what can we do about, I'm going to switch over to another slide here, and let's see if this is going to get better. It's Kathy that told me that. So Kathy, if it's getting any better for you, sometimes it's the internet connection at your end. I'm not sure if everybody's experiencing that. And frankly, I don't even have my email on, so I can't even tell if others are emailing me right now and telling me that the screen is a little bit fuzzy. I hope it's not fuzzy for everyone, but let's see here. Okay, I'd have to go downstairs to get my phone. Let me just stop here for a moment. I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to stop the screen share. There we go. So you're going to see me again. Okay, I just want to make sure, I know there's a number of folks that are watching right now. I just want to check to see if there's anyone else who's experiencing the same challenge, because I want to make sure you're going to see this, because I put this presentation together for you. Okay, I don't see any other emails on it. All right, so that's good. That could be that if anyone's watching right now and you're seeing fuzzy screen or any of the slides that I had up, it's fuzzy, can you just type an email to Peggy@PeggyMcColl.com, PEGGYMCCOLL.com, and let me know if the screen's fuzzy or not, and then I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna go back to my PowerPoint presentation. By the way, Kathy, thank you for sending me that message. I appreciate you. That was very kind of you. You know, that's the wonderful thing about, looks fine to me, says Dee Dee. All right, cool. All right, I'm seeing a whole bunch of other emails come in as well. Okay, cool. So it could be just at Kathy's end. Now, you got to understand, we're working with technology here, right? And as you probably know as well as I do, that we got to go with the flow. Like, sometimes technology is working and sometimes it's not working so great, and that's okay. It is what it is. So hopefully we're back on track. And if Dee Dee's seeing the screen okay and seeing the slides perfectly, then that means most likely others are as well. And of course, the recording's going to catch it too. All right, so let's get back to talking about you doing your book or your next book. Now, I know we've got some folks on this call that have already written their book. I know there's some people here that have already written their book. And you know, here's what one of the fascinating experiences in all of this. I have found that many authors, when they write their first book, will ultimately write a second book, and sometimes a third book, and sometimes a fourth book. And I never, ever, ever had a plan to write 12 books, never mind 13, 14, or 15 books. But yet, here I am working on another book. And that can happen to you too. Because once, you know, when we think about your story, right, you have a story to tell. And the hardest book to write, actually, do you know what the hardest book to write is? It's your first. The easiest book to write is your second. But you all have a story to tell. The other day, I received a phone call from a lovely woman from out west, and she shared with me that she was going to write her book, and she's in her 70s. And I said, "That's great. Tell me what your book is about." And she's going to write a book about the abuse that she experienced as a young girl, as a young woman. And it was abuse that went on for years, abuse that would probably have many people just stay in bed and pull the covers over their head and never come out. And I asked her, I said, "Tell me why. Why is it you want to write this book?" And she said, "Because I want to help other people understand that you don't have to carry that forward. You can let it go. You can heal from it. You can live a happy life." And that's what she's done. And she's at a point right now where she's decided she's going to make that happen. She's going to make a difference in this world. So regardless of whether you think your story is worthy of someone else or not worthy of someone else, you do have something to share. You've got something to tell. You've got your own unique experience. And every single book that comes out has one thing that's very unique about that book. And the one thing that's really unique about the book is the author. That's you. Do you understand what I mean? Like, have you picked up a book by someone and read it and you really felt their personality? You know, I have a client of mine who's in my annual All Access Pass program, and he was telling me that he recently read Bob Proctor's book. He had never read them before. I introduced him to Bob, and he said that, "I love that guy." He's like, "I love him." Like, I find the same thing. People read my books, Your Destiny Switch as an example, and then they'll send an email going, "Oh my goodness, this has changed my life, and I bought copies for everyone I know." You know, when I first decided I was going to write a book, I felt a little sheepish about it. I thought, who are you to write a book? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever thought that? Like, who are you to write a book? And I remember very vividly going to my parents and saying to my mom and my dad, I said, "I'm going to write a book." It's like a declaration, right? It's like a kid. I'm going to write a book. But I wasn't a kid. I was an adult. I was 40 something at the time. "I'm going to write a book." And do you know what their response was? You're going to write a book? I mean, they were saying, "Hey, Peg, way to go. Good for you. Oh, that's going to be a bestseller." None of that. But I wasn't looking for them to encourage me because I believed I had something to share with others, even if it's just one message that could be expanded upon. You know, I read a lot of Neville Goddard's work, and one of the books that I've been reading over and over and over again is a book called The Power of Awareness. And I absolutely know with certainty that book, even though it may be several pages, or I don't even know how many pages, I've got a copy of it right here on my desk, 100 and some odd pages, I truly believe that this book could have easily been summed up in 3 sentences. But people don't want 3 sentences. They want more. They want the backstory. They want to know what to do with the information. They want more information. People are hungry. We're living in an information age. And regardless of where you are, and regardless of where your clients or your readers are, you can reach them. You can reach them anywhere, but you've got to get out of your own way. You got to get started. You got to stop the procrastination. You got to make a commitment. You got to move your butt. You've got to decide that you're going to do this. It's like when you make a decision, everything else moves. Like, there's a quote. Now it's been tagged by W.H. Murray. I think Goethe has been known to say it. It's like, when one makes a decision, when one's committed and they make a decision, all providence moves. Everything that's required to fulfill that goal is going to be revealed to them. So that's a big part of it. Like, one of the reasons why people will never write their book is because they think they have nothing to say, or they think they're not worthy of having a best-selling book, or they think, who are they to write a book? They don't really have any credentials. They're not young enough. They're not old enough. They're not speaking the right language. You've got to really recognize what's holding you back. And the only one that's holding you back is looking you back in the mirror when you look at the mirror. So get out of your own way. You see, I could have easily gave up on that idea of writing my book when my parents said to me, you're going to write a book? That wasn't supportive. That wasn't positive. That wasn't encouraging. But I decided, you know what? I'm writing it anyway. And the most amazing and miraculous event occurred. I started to feel so much better about myself. My own confidence was increasing every page I wrote. And I remember having the experience. I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember writing and typing. Well, I was typing my first book, getting to a point where I was almost completed. And I remember having this thought: whether not one single person buys my book, this has by far been one of the best experiences of my life, because it allowed me, or allowed myself, to collect my thoughts, put them into an organized fashion, and to really get clear on a particular message. And it had a profound effect on me. Now, fortunately, tens of thousands of people have bought my books, and my books are in 37 languages, and they're sold in almost 100 countries in this world. But if I didn't get out of my way, would any of that happen? Heck no. So get out of your own way. Make that today. Enough is enough already. If you've been thinking about writing that book or thinking about writing your next book, now is absolutely the time. Now, every achievement starts with the end in mind. Every achievement starts with the end of the mind. Any athlete that walks on the field is going out there for a particular reason. My husband's out golfing right now. My husband has gone out golfing and he's in a tournament, and his intention, what's his outcome? Is to win, right? He has an end in mind. You write a book, you start to write a book. Your achievement is to complete that book. Every achievement starts with the end in mind. That's where we're going to be starting in the 21-day author program. I'll talk to you how you work toward the end, and how inspiring that can be, and how invigorating that can be, and how energizing that can be for you. Now just think of Pise Ling. Here's a lovely woman who lives in New Zealand that I was blessed to work with. She was born in Cambodia. English is not her first language. But she came to me and she said, when I look back, I had no idea what to do apart from the desire to write a book. She knew she wanted to write a book, but she didn't know what to do. She said, I tried it many times in my own way, and she couldn't get past 5 pages with my guidance. So I helped her. I coached her. She signed up for one-on-one mentoring. It made her think that it was possible to put that book out there in the world, and she did it. She got the book done. Yes, I teach people about how to make their book a bestseller. That's not what this is all about. 21-Day Author is not about make your book a bestseller, although I can teach you that too. It's about getting the book done. Getting the book done. I decided to dedicate, recreate, repackage my author book writing program into a format that I knew would be revolutionary, that I knew would help you get the result. Onyx Singal, who's made millions, 8 figures in revenue marketing on the internet, wanted to write a book. And he hadn't achieved that goal. And he said, I want you to help me with that. I said, I'm happy to help you with it. I helped Onyx Singal do his book. He wrote a book called The Circle of Profit. And then he sent me this text. That's a screenshot from a text that Onyx Singal sent me. Thank you for your guidance, inspiration, and mentorship on this. I just helped him to get directed in the right way. Helped him with the guidance that he needed to get the book done. Sometimes in life, that's what we need. Someone to grab us by the hand and either pull us or walk with us and help us, show us what do we need to do first. What do we need to do next? You think back, you probably don't have memory of this, but you think back when you were a baby and you were first learning how to walk. You didn't figure that out on your own. Your parents encouraged you. Come on, you can do it. You can walk. Come on, get up, get up, get up. You can do it. And then you took a first step. Then you took a second step. Then you took another step. You were guided. We're all guided to do everything in our life or anything in our life. When we get the guidance, it makes it so much easier. I'm sure you can think about something that you've done in your life that you've had the right guidance. So writing a book, even if it's your first one, does not have to take years. It definitely doesn't have to take years. You could get that book done in the weekend if you want. We're approaching a weekend now. You could get the book done in the weekend if that's something that you desire. But a big part of the entire evolution of success is mindset. You've got to get it in your mind that it can be done. And I know it can. You don't have to even believe that it can. I believe it. I believe it for you. You can trust in my belief for you. I know it can be done. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of authors all over the world. People that were really busy and didn't think that they had the time to write a book, or people that couldn't speak English or had horrible grammar, terrible spelling, didn't have an idea how to put two sentences together. And I've helped them get their books done. I helped well, it's not a client of mine, a friend of mine recently get her book done. And she sent me a text one night and she was kind of in a panic. She goes, Peg, I need some guidance. I got to write a book in a weekend. It's due at the publisher. What do I do? And then I helped her. She's like, oh, just having that guidance, gave her the peace of mind. Sometimes that's what it does. It just gives you the peace of mind to get started and get moving. Dr. Yusi, one of my favorite people on the planet Earth, who I love and appreciate, is my client. He's been in my annual All Access Pass program. He came to me before he had his book done. He was a medical doctor doing great work in the world. English is not his first language. And he sent this video to me, and here's what he said. He said, Peggy, English is not my first language. However, with Peggy's help, I became an international best-selling author, something that he is very proud of. He wrote a book called Transforming Vibes. People are still buying it. People are still telling other people about it. He said, following her advice, I was able to go further and create online programs that increased my income in a substantial way. But you know something? Dr. Yusi had an understanding that he wanted to bring to the world in his book, but he took action. He made a commitment and he followed through. Now he's out there receiving emails from people telling him all the time what a difference, what a transformation his book has made in their lives, right? A legacy that'll live long, long, long after Dr. Yusi has left this planet Earth. Now, I've known Bob Proctor now for almost 40 years. We become friends and we're business partners. We do business together. We had a company together for a while. And he said the following: either you're going into strategy or you're going into chance. Now, he said those words when I was at his 1% club. This 1%, what's the 1%? These are the people that are in the top 1% or desire to be in the top 1% income earners in their country or in the world. I'm in that category. Now, that came about after I became an author. Either you're going into strategy or you're going into chance. Sure, you could try it on your own. You could see if you can figure it out on your own. Absolutely. Or you can learn from someone who's done it before, which is absolutely the way you want to go. Jennifer Colford, another one of my clients, she said, I never thought I could do it. Peggy guided me to write my international best-selling book in 1 week. If you're looking for the perfect person to show you how, then invest in yourself and register in Peggy McCall's program now, as she is the master at it. You simply won't find anyone as effective, qualified, or as deeply caring to work with. Now, here's the thing. I want you to really notice what Jennifer is saying here. She said that she wanted to write her book in a week. Now, there are a lot of people who have that desire. Let's write a book in a week. She had no clue how to do it. I remember when the email landed in my inbox, Jennifer said, Peg, I want to write a book and I want to have it done and published and made into a bestseller, and I'd like to do it in the next 60 days before I go back to another one of the Matrix programs. And I said, all right. And she said, can it be done? And I said, absolutely, it can be done when you know how. Now, could she have done it on her own? I suspect not, but she was looking for the perfect person. We were attracted to each other, and she invested in herself. I love that she said that. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself and register for the program. Maya Angelou said, there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Wayne Dyer says, don't die with your music in you. It's the same idea, the same principle. What's the story that's within you? What is the message that you want to get out into the world? What is the difference that you would like to make? Now, you could be working somewhere now, have a full-time job, not be working. It doesn't matter. You could be the busiest person in the world. I've worked with many people who are either stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, they're running a law practice, they're a medical doctor with a big thriving practice, and they don't have the time to write their book either, but they made the commitment because they didn't want to pass another day without getting it done. So you and your book done. Now, are you ready to become the next 21-day author? This is brand spanking new. I decided that, from what I understand from doing multiple books and working with hundreds of authors, that I would create an even more refined program, something that would help authors in such a way that they follow it. It's almost going to write the book itself. Now, it won't. You're going to have some work to do, but I'll also share with you that if you can have a conversation, with another human being, you can get the content of your book done. That's what I'm going to be offering in the 21-day author program. Now, you can go there right now and you can check it out. We're taking registrations right now, and you can start right now, 21dayauthor.com. But let's talk a little bit more about what I'm doing in this program. Now, we're spreading this out over 21 days. There are going to be 21 lessons. There's going to be a lesson today when you get yourself registered. So you can just go on over to 21dayauthor.com and you can just sign up now, just register right now, and you're going to get right in there and you will be able to start working with session number 1, which is day 1 of 21. Then tomorrow will be day 2, and then the next day, day 3, and then day 4. And in 21 days, you can either write your book as we're going along, or you could go through all the 21 days and then go write it after that period ends, or you could write it in the next month. Now, I'm also going to talk about how to write multiple format, different types of books, ebooks, paperback, hardcover, what's required to position yourself as a bestseller. If you're looking to get your book published in the publishing world, traditional publishing, what's involved in that? What do you need to do to complete that book? Who owns the rights to your book, and how do you protect yourself? How do you get endorsements from perhaps people that are known as celebrities in an industry that you would love to have them endorse your book? What about foreign rights? I mentioned to you that I have my books in 37 languages. How do you get foreign rights deals? I'll walk you through all of that, organizing your material so that it's something that really sets you apart from all the rest in the world. You realize that as soon as you write a book, that people assume you are an authority, a person of authority, that you're an expert. It's easy to do when you know how. Also, the incredible value of a book cover. You know, there's a story in Think and Grow Rich, chapter 6 on imagination, where Napoleon Hill talks about a publisher that had released a book in the world and it wasn't selling. So they brought that book back in, they sort of took it off the shelves, they ripped off the cover, they gave it a new name, put a new cover on it, and brought it out to the world, and the book took off. Do you realize they didn't change one word of the content of that book? They just changed the title. I'm going to guide you through how to create a winning title, a title that people will be salivating over. People will want to buy that book just because of the title. We're going to spend one of our sessions just on that topic alone. And of course, you can understand now why that's so valuable. It's so incredibly valuable. So we'll get right to we'll roll up our sleeves and we're going to get right to the beginning part. Where do you start? Where do you start? What's the first thing that you do? What's the next thing that you do? And then what's the next thing that you do? If you get this thing called writer's block, how do you deal with that? How do you get more content? What creates intrigue? What creates curiosity? What keeps a reader engaged? What captivates a reader? All of this is absolutely essential for you to create a phenomenal quality product. And that's really what you want to do. Jacqueline McKenzie came to me at the beginning of February this year, and she wanted to write a book, didn't know where to begin. We started working together. She signed up for some private mentoring together. So I helped Jacqueline write her book called The Profit of Profit. And she wrote that book in a matter of a few weeks. I believe it was 3 weeks. Actually, while we've been on this call, I got a text from her because my iWatch notified me to say she just sent me an endorsement. When we're finished here, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull up my email and I'll check to see what her endorsement is so I can read it for you. But here's what I know. Jacqueline had the desire to write a book. She had been thinking about it for a period of time, but didn't get on with the work. She finally made a decision that she would do it, a decision that she would follow through. And she did. And I remember our very first conversation. We're having a conversation. We met on Skype and we're on our Skype call together. And she said, Peggy, I have to admit, I'm scared. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, the prophet of profit? Who am I to call myself the prophet of profit? Now, I know Jacqueline. I know about her results. I know about her study. I know about her knowledge. She's absolutely the perfect person to write the prophet of profit. As a matter of fact, Bob Proctor knows her very well. She's one of his thinking and results consultants. She's a leading thinking and results consultant. In a year, she's earned $1 million doing this work. Of course, she understands this. But she felt a little bit shy. I mean, she's a shy girl by nature. So it felt a little uncomfortable. You may very well feel uncomfortable. I know I personally felt uncomfortable. However, we step outside the comfort zone, and that's where growth occurs. That's where we have the greatest growth experiences. That's where we have the greatest results in our life as well, by stepping outside our comfort zones. That's what Jacqueline did. She stepped outside her comfort zone. She just, even though she was feeling these emotions, and she was very kind and very open with sharing what was going on with her, she created a phenomenal piece of work. But while she was going through the process of writing, she got to a point where she knew she wanted to go back and make it even better and make it even better. And she was guided along the way to produce such a phenomenal book. She's built her own business. She's a coach. She's built this business. But people give her a lot more credibility because she's the author of this phenomenal book. Plus, she can use the book as a lead generator. She can use the book as a gift for prospects and for clients. She can use the book at her events. And of course, many, many, many people have bought it because she made her book an international bestseller. But as I said, this is not what 21 Day Author is all about, this particular program. I'm guiding you and going to guide you into getting that book done so that you can become that instant expert on your subject, so that you could potentially, if this is something you desire, create some income streams or create a springboard into launch a speaking career, if that's something you want to do, or you just want to get your message out there in the world. Like, I've worked with many authors, and I find that they have their own different reasons for writing their book. Some of them are a match for what you're seeing on the screen here. They want to bolster their reputation. They want to create some income streams. They want to reclaim their courage and prove that they've got something to share with the world. They want to leave a legacy. There's many, many different reasons why. But you will discover that when you actually do get your book done, that not only will you achieve many beneficial things, but you're going to find that it's going to have a positive ripple effect. If we look at the screen right now, leaving a legacy, something your offspring, children, grandchildren, nieces, siblings, nephews would be proud of. If we look at that, I remember when my son brought some of his friends home from school, and they came into our family room, and there was a shelf in our family room where we had all of my books that were in foreign languages right across that shelf. So the books were in Russian and Italian and Vietnamese. I mean, I can't even remember all the different languages that were my books were in. And I remember Michelle's friends stopping, and they're looking up, and they're looking at the bookshelf, and they're staring at these books. And they turned to Michelle, and they said to him, they said, "Are these books all your mother's?" Because they saw my name. They saw Peggy McCall, Peggy McCall, Peggy McCall. That was written in English. And he said, "Yeah." And I noticed how proud he was by saying that. And that made me feel good. It made me feel really, really good that there was my son proud of his mother's accomplishment. And I remember one time I heard a conversation that he had, and I said to him, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" And he was encouraging somebody else. And his response to me was, "Duh, who's my mother?" And so what I've discovered is that you're going to have a positive impact on other people in your life. You will have a positive impact on other people. And you may not have that as a reason going into this, but you're going to be amazed just how it's going to affect you. Oh, all right. Okay, so are you ready? If you'd like to get in the 21 Day Author program, I know Kathy's saying the screen's fuzzy again. My phone's ringing off the hook. I'm not sure if anyone else is getting fuzzy screen or not. But if you're ready, I'm ready to help you. I'm ready to help you write your next book using these methods. These are the get her done faster than ever before. And I've created a very low tuition for you to get in, for you to make the commitment as I walk you through the 21-day author program. Yes, there's going to be lessons for you every single day. And yes, I'm going to do some open Q&A calls too. So you will have some access. As soon as you register, you're going to get to the page where you're going to see the very first lesson so that you can start. And then you're going to go down the page and you'll see where any of the open Q&A calls that are going to be posted. So that's when you'll have access to me so you can get your questions answered. Plus, I'm throwing in 2 programs, the Bestseller Insider Secrets and the Way to Riches program. I really believe that these materials can positively impact your life. You got to know that it is time. No longer should you be sitting back saying, oh yeah, and maybe I'll get to it one day. Now is the time. Now's the time to take charge. I'm going to help you with the mindset that's required. I'll give you the understandings of what it really does take to be successful in the book industry, because believe me, I know 12 books generated millions of dollars in revenue for my business. I've got a very successful business going on here, and I can help you. So if that's something you're interested in, just head on over to 21dayauthor.com and you can get yourself enrolled. Now, here's someone else that I work with, a guy named Jason Flatland. Now, Jason took his business from 10 million to, 1 million to 10 million in a year. Very successful guy. But I helped him get his book done. He sent this text to me. I copied the screen of my text. He said, hey, Peggy, as my book gets ready to go to print, just wanted to thank you again. I wanted to write a book for the last 7 years and never finished. You got me to do the whole thing in 3 weeks, and it was fun. I've already gotten business from this book just by showing the manuscript to a few people. I'll probably end up with a 6-figure contract from the book before the typos have even been fixed. Now, there's a couple reasons why people don't get their book done: time and money. Now, time is something that, we don't know how much we have of. But I'll tell you something. Here's a guy who's pretty darn busy. He's running a multi-million-dollar business. And I've worked with many people who are very busy people. So whether you're busy or not, it's just an excuse. If you really want to get the book done, you can get the book done. I helped Jason get his book done in 3 weeks. He did it. And money, well, money, there's an abundance of. It's so incredibly valuable. What it'll bring for you, never mind what you're going to earn from selling books or potentially extending beyond that book into other revenue sources. Going to talk about that too in the program, but now's the time. 21-Day Author, that's why I'm so excited about this launch for 21-Day Author. It is truly an extraordinary program. You can get yourself over to the 21-Day Author page. Here we are right here, right now. You and your book done. Now, I'm looking for some testimonials of some more authors who are looking to create some phenomenal success. You can get yourself registered. It's a very low investment in this program. It's very low. And all that's required is you get yourself signed up. And as soon as you do, you're going to get over to the program. You're going to get access to the bonuses, and you're going to see where the first session is so that you can get started. Plus, here's a special bonus, and you may not even notice it. It's in the postscript on the page. As an extra bonus, when you guys get registered, if you get yourself into the 21-Day Author program and you send me your book, and I like it, it has to be well written and I like it, I will happily provide an endorsement for you, an endorsement from a New York Times bestselling author. So now's the time. We're celebrating. This is the Hyperdrive writing system. Get you enrolled right now. Now's the time. Get yourself over there. Get signed up. That's why I was so excited. Completely reorganized, designed in such an effective way to really guide you through the whole process. All right. So I really look forward to working with you let's just stop the screen share here. There we go. Okay, great. I want to come back to you. There we go. All right. So, okay. So there we are. I'm so excited about this. Matter of fact, the last 3 nights, I've hardly slept at all, because I'm so excited about this program. So excited. I'm so excited to work with you. That's what I said I'm born to do, is to help you. I want to get your book done. That's what we're going to work on next, okay? So get over there, 20-Day Author. get yourself registered, and I look forward to seeing you in the program and helping you to get your book done. Okay, now's the time. Take some action, all right? And you will be really glad that you did. You will. It's totally, completely changed my life. Writing my first book, my second book, my third book, my 12th book. All right, so I look forward to serving you. All right, see you in there.